just gonna go over the basics on how I started and kind of how I even got here, the foundation to how I actually got here to have abs after having 3 children. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Brittany Collins, aka Naturally Pretty, and I'm here with another video. However, this time you can tell I'm in my workout gear, so I'm going to be uploading my first fitness video today. I am super excited. I had did a Instagram story question to basically say what videos you guys would want to see in related to fitness, and my #1 question or request was, how did you get abs after kids? Where do you start to work out with getting your abs after kids? Can you explain what diastasis recti is? Things like that. So this video is all going to be about how to get abs after kids and what I did. I started my workout journey back in 2013, so I will be kind of speaking in past tense, even though the things that I do now are very different. So I'm just going to go over the basics on how I started and kind of how I even got here, the foundation to how I actually got here to have abs after having 3 children. So I don't want the intro to be too long. Just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that things are going to be different from what I do now. So if you do want a more updated one, definitely let me know. Being that everybody kind of starts on different levels. However, the people that responded to me, they were fresh out the gate moms or moms that just don't know where to begin when it comes to figuring out the abs situation. If you would like a part 2 to this where I actually show you the movements and go into more depth on exactly what I did so you can see it firsthand, definitely let me know. But even before we get started, go ahead and like this video. You requested it, you got it, and then go ahead and subscribe to my channel as well. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I do wanna put a disclaimer out there that I am not a personal trainer. These are all tips and research that I've done through myself. And then 3, you do this on your own risk, okay? At your own risk, you take these tips and do what you would like to do with them. However, I can suggest you do them, and I promise you it will most likely work for you. #1 is going to be about the diastasis recti. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but that's how I've always said it. So we're going to move forward with that. Basically what that is when your abdominal muscles are still separated. A lot of moms have this issue and they don't realize that sometimes it doesn't just go back on its own. There are ways that you can actually test for it at home, but you definitely want to make sure that you are putting those abs back together, especially before you're going and doing any type of hard like crunches or anything. Because if you think about it, your abs, if they're separated like this and you're doing a crunch, you can possibly make it worse. And then that is definitely not what you want when you're looking for a flat tummy or for a 6-pack in the future. So you definitely want to go ahead and take care of that first. So I will put the spelling down somewhere on the screen. That way you're able to look it up if you're not willing to wait for me to put out another video, if that's what you guys would like. But you have to let me know in the comments that that's something that you would like to do, so that I can go ahead and do that for you guys as soon as possible, okay? #2 is going to be strengthening your pelvic floor. So that is going to be different movements. One of the main ones is kind of like Kegels, except instead of just squeezing together, it's more like a squeeze and then like a zip up movement. But you want to make sure that your pelvic floor is strengthened after having children. It'll definitely help with the core, along with a few other things. It'll help down there, which is kind of reconstructing everything. I mean, you got to think about it. Us as women, we go through 9 to 10 long months of carrying a human body. You have to take that time to heal and rediscover those muscles and putting everything back together, and it takes time. A lot of time with these exercises, they are a little boring, but they are necessary. So you need to make sure that you are doing your pelvic floor exercises and your exercises to recover with the diastasis recti first before you go on with the hardcore stuff. It is going to help you in the long run when it comes to having that strong core and that flat tummy, okay? So number 3, I wore a waist trimmer. A waist trimmer, not a waist trainer. The waist trainer is the one that squeezes really tight in the waist and gives you the hourglass figure. You don't want to do that, especially after just having kids. But a waist trimmer is going to help you de-bloat. It's going to help you be more mindful of keeping your core in, reducing that water weight, things like that. So on days that I am really working out hard and I know I'm going to be doing cardio that day or HIIT training or some form, I always like to have my waist trimmer on. Back then I was just using one of the cheap ones from Walmart from Gold's Gym. However, now I do use the Sweet Sweat one. Live by it. I love it. Probably need some more. I'm literally obsessed. So that's something that I still do keep in my regimen today, just a different one. You can get the one from Walmart, it still worked for me. Or you can get the Sweet Sweat one. That one works for me as well. So definitely invest in a waist trimmer. And keep that core straight because you've been doing your exercises, so you're more mindful of it. You've been wearing your waist trimmer, so you're more mindful of it. You're now doing those exercises like vacuums and you're holding it in, not to where you can't breathe, sucking it in, but you are drawing your belly button back. And so you're very mindful of that versus your stomach hanging all out, and then your results are going to be hanging all out. If you keep that drawn back, your results are going to be tight, toned, and collected. They're going to be engaged at all times. So number 4, I started drinking water. I never used to like water, even when I was a kid to when I grew up, it was just not a thing for me. However, when I had started working out, back then I did start to drink a lot of water. I actually ended up cutting everything out cold turkey, so no sodas, no juice, I only drink water. If I do go out for a special occasion, I will have like a ginger ale or like a Sprite, but I usually try and keep it to 1 cup for that time frame. Other than that, of course, I limit my alcohol unless it's like I'm going out and it's like a celebratory reason. But only drink water. Water, detoxing, hydration from the inside out. It's going to help a lot with water weight. Just make sure, of course, that you're using the restroom regularly. If not, it's just going to sit there and make you feel uncomfortable and even more bloated. 5, I started doing cardio. So with cardio, it was really only a mile that I was doing, which burned calories. Therefore, I was able to actually reveal the abs that were underneath that I had been working on. I had never seen an ab in my entire life. This was after 2 children that I finally saw, like, hey, you have something under there. Cardio was definitely contributing to that. I did not have a certain type of diet. I was still eating pizza. I was still eating Chinese food. I was still eating, of course, eggs and oatmeal as well, but I was not very specific with my diet. Now, of course, I'm way more strategic, but back then I kind of went with the flow at that point. It's definitely important to, kick up the cardio, make sure you're incorporating cardio during that time that you're trying to really focus on reconstructing your core and getting abs after birth. Now, eating is very important. My updated video would definitely have way more eating involved. However, want to stay in the past tense to make sure that I'm translating the information properly so I can know exactly where you guys are and where you guys are feeling and that you guys can get here. As long as you burn more than you consume, you will lose weight. Period, point blank. The number on the scale will go down as long as you're doing so. Number 6 is going to be my last one for this video, and it's going to be commit to the goal. When you are starting from ground zero, you've had kids, you want to start working out or you want to start back working out, you are starting from ground zero. You have no abdominals, you have no core strength, especially if you haven't worked out during your pregnancy. That was me. 2 of them, I never worked out a day in my life, and then my son, I could not work out while being pregnant. So I was starting 2 times from ground zero, and I brought my abs back twice. Actually, after my third one, they look way better than before. It was more intentional, and I had these tips to actually have a one-up, so I already knew what to do. But you have to commit. I can give you the tips, you can find the tips, someone can tell you even if it's not me, but at the end of the day, you are the one who has to do the work to actually be able to reach your goal. So I just wanted to kind of do a video and give you the foundation. That's what I did. That is kind of how I got my foundation in my routine. For me, I'm naturally kind of small anyways. However, back then I was more of like a skinny fat. So I had a lot of body fat, but I was technically small. If you looked at me, I was technically skinny. But it was definitely nowhere near where I wanted to be, nowhere near where I am now. And I still have further goals. So I do still incorporate a lot of these things into my regimen now. I hope that was very helpful to you guys. If anyone is watching and you guys have other helpful tips that you used when you first had your baby, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Other than that, Britty out.